All right, welcome to Spoiler Kings. My name is Tim Kramer, and I'm with Brandon and Brian. There we go. What's up, guys?
Yeah. What's up,
going
guys?
on?
Yeah. So you guys up here are going to talk about Glass Onion. I didn't get the chance to watch it yet. So you guys are gonna have the conversation of the good, the bad, and the rating, and I'm just kind of ask some questions. I'll be the viewer kind of for this one. But like we always start, do you guys want to do a quick synopsis of what the movie's about?
Sure, I got it.
You got it. I was pulling them up, but you got it. Cool.
Got it?
All right.
Done. And
There we go. So go for it,
All right.
Brandon.
Tech billionaire Miles Braun invites his friends for a getaway on his private Greek island. When someone turns up dead, Detective Benoit Blanc is put on the case. Boom.
That's such a lie.
Just-
That's not what happened at all.
Just a murder mystery, just like the first one.
Just like the first.
So I don't know. We'll start off with some of the good stuff. Who wants to go first?
I'll definitely go with Brandon first. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I really, really like a whodunit. I like a good whodunit. I like when the whodunit makes me kind of think. I have to evaluate and pay attention to everything, because I think that's really the point of a whodunit. And we don't get enough of them, in my opinion. It's one of my favorite, most slept on genres aside from adventure. So this one really did it for me. I think I'd say I liked it just as much as the first Knives Out, which is a movie that I'm very, very fond of. I know that Rian Johnson has drawn a lot of the ire from the nerd fan base. Me, personally, I don't have enough of an attachment to, as much as I love Star Wars, I don't have enough of an attachment to the sequel trilogy to be terribly angry about it. But he's very much in his element here with mystery and whodunit. I don't know if anyone's seen a movie called Brick that he did early in his career with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That's another very good one. This is really, really where he belongs. And it's really great to see these just insanely stacked casts that he gets in these mystery movies between this and Knives Out. We got obviously Daniel Craig returning as Benoit Blanc. We have Edward Norton, Kate Hudson, Catherine Hahn. Who else? Is it Leslie Odom? Dave Bautista, who is getting more and more respect from me as a legitimate actor at this point.
Did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he's playing like a stereotypical kind of dude bro.
Nice.
I think I already said Kate Hudson. I'm not sure. Janelle Monáe, who
I was like, you forgetting the main person.
Janelle Monáe, who was absolutely incredible in this, I thought. It was great. It was, and it's so great to see Daniel Craig finding, kind of life after Bond as this character Benoit Blanc, which I truly believe he's having a whole lot of fun playing. I'd watch as many movies as Rian Johnson wants to make centering around Benoit Blanc. It's a good standalone. You don't even need to watch Knives Out to grasp what's going on in this one. And it's got some very fun cameos that were a lot of fun. I just had a great time watching this. Watched it 3 times over the weekend.
That's awesome.
3 times?
Wow.
3 times. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
You're crazy. Okay. So I've only watched it 1 time, but I will tell you that I enjoyed the entire mystery part of it. It was so smartly done. Like, it was intelligent. And the things that he pointed out were also just like exactly what I was thinking. Like, oh man, why did he do that? Why does he keep on making up these words? This is so stupid.
Yeah.
But he pointed it out, which makes it ingenious.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not a doucher. I thought Janelle Monáe was amazing.
Yeah.
She literally was. I mean, she played 2 different characters, and her timing was so good and so interesting. I think Kate Hudson was annoying as hell and it was perfect for her. Just super annoying. Ed Norton was so much of a douche that was perfect for him. That's what he is. Like, he's like, that was great casting. It's just what these guys are.
Yeah, he was great. I loved Norton. Well, I love Norton in pretty much. He brings his A game in pretty much everything he's in. So yeah, he was great in it.
I gotta say Leslie Odom. I loved him for a long time, but it was very interesting. The way the movie started off was interesting. They didn't have many holes. I know Tank always says Knives Out has so many holes, and this I know is one major hole
one giant, huge gaping hole.
I don't feel like this is a hole right now.
Okay.
I feel like this has a very well done, made sense, and honestly, Miles Brown was an idiot. He was an idiot, and they pointed it out, and I love the way they did it. So it was a very good movie.
Yeah.
So before we get into the bad, here's a Derpy's take on Rian Johnson. I'd rather bathe my eyes in chlorine and have to listen to the last Airbender movie than watch something made ruin Rian Johnson ever again. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that feel like this. I'm not gonna be because of Star Wars.
Yeah, he ruined Star Wars, but he's done good stuff too.
Yeah, I'd really have a tough time kind of completely if he was making stinker after stinker. It's not like the guy's Uwe Boll, like just making like he's made a lot of solid stuff in his career. And even as much as I love Star Wars, I really have a hard time,
No, stop now.
No, let me finish. I can't completely write off someone because of one trip up.
I can't. It's Star Wars.
It's Star Wars, but I like I said, I didn't have that much of an attachment to the sequel trilogy, so
it didn't matter. It's still Star Wars. He almost ruined the world. He literally almost ruined it.
Yeah,
true.
That's like there's some people that shouldn't have remakes. There's some people that just shouldn't touch certain things. Just shouldn't.
But I mean, Abrams. No, Abrams made pretty much a pedestrian kind of safe. Almost blow by blow remake of A New Hope. So I kind of,
I feel a little different with that one, but
no, you're wrong.
I feel like I mean that was definitely paying like homage to A New Hope, but different enough to start a new story. Exactly. But for my issue is Rian Johnson is a fairly new-ish director. He never did anything too big. The biggest one, the only thing I ever known him before was Looper, which I enjoyed. I thought it was a cool movie. Yeah. Brick, I definitely got to look, but that was 2005. So holy crap. So
he's been around for about 15, 20 years. Yeah. So I mean,
but he's never really done anything major.
Yeah. I think Looper was, and that was like his first and only kind of a dip into sci-fi prior to The Last Jedi. Yeah. Which, I really liked Looper and I really liked Brick. So when I heard he was handling Star Wars after Abrams, I'm like, oh, that could be cool. Only to, see, Leia float through space to her safety. What the hell was that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I prefer him in kind of lower budget things like this. He's very much in his element.
Yeah, he needs to make his own world and own characters and story. And that's how a lot of people. Taika's the same way, man. You're better off making your own stuff.
Yep. Don't ruin someone else's characters. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. But so Perp said, I like the cast from the first movie, but I feel like the story of the second one was much stronger.
It was. And it made sense, and it was so just
did it. Yeah,
amazing.
But Derpy say Knives Out was boring and stupid. It took the concept of Clue and made it dumb and boring and not fun. I don't agree with that. I had a good time with Knives Out. But after thinking about it for a while, but that's also there's always a hole, and for most murder mysteries, there's usually a hole somewhere in the story.
Your argument is not even a hole; it's just like
it's a plot hole. I mean, the whole entire movie wouldn't exist if it wasn't for.
It's a guy who went to nursing school who knows some stuff, and he's like that doesn't make sense.
No,
and I'm like, dude, I have two different types of insulin. I can tell the difference in the bottle.
No, I'm not. No, that's not the problem. The problem is the autopsy part of it all, the whole skipping. We'll get into that later. That's another conversation. But most murder mysteries have something like that because you need to have that to push the story forward. Because if there's too real, then obviously real life gets in the way of having fun.
Art.
So, but I had fun with Knives Out. I had fun with it.
I also think Clue itself is boring. And I think we give some characters to it. That's what they said in this movie. They're like, man, Clue is terrible. It's a stupid game.
That's hilarious.
Totally dumb.
Yeah.
And we're way better than this.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of whodunits, like I said, it's a very scarce kind of genre. I think it's kind of easy. Clue is one of the more standout ones that you automatically associate with the genre. So it's really kind of it's really kind of easy to associate anyone that we get.
It's motives and opportunity. The whole time you have anytime you have a chart that has motives, opportunity, in people's names, it's Clue.
Clue.
That's what it is. That's just what
Yeah. But a bunch of before we Force Awakens better less boring version of New Hope. That's interesting. And Purpose like, don't say that again. Don't say the evil word of Last Jedi. They laugh. So
I disagree with Derpy all together. I think Force Awakens.
Nice Out was fun, and
I'm
excited
was fun.
enough.
Force Awakens was fun to me, and I just disagree with Derp. So,
well, Force Awakens was
I liked it.
That was JJ.
Yeah. No, because he was talking about Finn and Rey. I didn't have any problem with them at the beginning. They just didn't keep with it. But as we were saying about this,
continue with this one. So you guys talk about some of the good stuff. What about some of the bad stuff? What stuff that you didn't like?
Oh my God, Daniel Craig's accent is so effing annoying.
But you knew that was coming from the first one, right?
But just like, come on, man. And
just let him be British.
It's only worse. It's only made worse because Janelle Monáe's accent was just as bad when she was playing the sister. Oh my God, it was so bad.
Yeah, Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. The Foghorn Leghorn accent is pretty.
I say.
Even though it kind of puts like a grin on my face and kind of makes me laugh at times, I just find it that amusing. But to an extent, I agree, and I even agree about Janelle Monáe's. There were kind of parts here and there where, especially when they're kind of explaining things, kind of through the starting at roughly around the midway mark to probably like the near the end, things kind of got dragged, especially when they were kind of explaining things.
Well, you saw what he was doing. He was literally just wasting time, and I didn't mind it because I knew what he was doing. He was literally just saying stuff, throwing it at you, just random crap, saying words and stuff because he was wasting time. He was just trying to distract everybody, and that's all they're doing. It was distraction.
Yeah. There were times where kind of like a lot of the explanations and kind of drawing it out. Johnson got a little self-indulgent with that. At times it wasn't enough to completely take me out of the movie, but it could have been trimmed, or some of it completely could have been handled a little differently. I don't want to say done away with, because there are components that you need in a whodunit. But there were times where I'm like, come on, let's keep it moving.
Well, I just thought that the things that you're talking about more is more Daniel Craig when he was talking, trying to explain crap, and he wasn't explaining anything for like, it was like 15 minutes when he really wasn't explaining anything. He was just saying stuff. But I knew he was only doing this because he was giving Janelle Monáe time to do the things she needed to go do. And then, but my one complaint is she finally finds the evidence that she needs, and she allows someone to ruin it. I'm not spoiler alert, but it's just, she allows someone to ruin it, and it was so stupid. I was like, who the hell would let that happen? No one in their right mind would just be like, "Hey, here you go," and go. You just ruined it.
I get that.
That was so stupid. And then the Mona Lisa thing was stupid too, because it's like, who the hell didn't see that coming? Are you really that stupid? Miles Braun is literally that stupid that you didn't see the Mona Lisa, that being a problem? It's like, all right, okay. But I'm not telling you what it is, because I mean, if you saw it, you know what I'm talking about. But if you didn't, like Tank, you have no idea.
I'm gonna watch it. I mean, if you want to do any spoilers, that's fine. Perp said, what was the accent that he was trying to do? I was confused.
It was figured, Southern. I don't know if it was a Kentucky accent. I don't know.
Here's my problem. He had the Southern accent, but then didn't she find him in England?
Really?
Remember when she went to go see him in his apartment? Wasn't that in England?
I assumed it was in England. Consider. Yeah.
So what the hell?
It was a very Foghorn Leghorn Southern Belle accent, which how it was in the first one. I don't know about the second one. I'm assuming it obviously has to say the same because it's the same character.
It's exactly the same.
But very like Foghorn Leghorn meets like Southern Belle kind of sounding stuff, which I always found stupid. It was like, he's British. Let him talk British. But I'm pretty sure he wanted to keep it away from James Bond.
Yeah,
like, I don't want him to sound like James Bond. But I'm like,
literally,
that's his voice.
It looks like she went to go get him from Great Britain or London.
Yeah. And and like you said, Tank, it's probably to just kind of distance himself from Bond and nothing more than that.
I want to know whose choice it was, though. That's one thing I want to find. Was it Rian Johnson or was it him just doing it and Johnson was cool? Like,
that's an excellent question.
That's what I want to know.
Everyone should be wrong. Everyone should know they're wrong.
Could have been a Southern English if that's a thing. I don't know. LOL.
It was so stupid. But like literally, she goes to Helen Brand goes to his apartment to go see him, to find him, and I believe it looked like it was in England. So what the hell?
It was.
It did. I'm not 100% sure about Daniel Craig's American accent. I think the only other time I heard him do an American accent was once, which was in Cowboys and Aliens years back. I can't remember enough of that movie to remember if it was good or not. I think I kind of remember that thinking it was.
No, it wasn't.
It was not good.
It wasn't as bad as this one, but it still wasn't good. So I don't know. He shouldn't do accents. There's some people that shouldn't do it. He's one of them.
Yeah.
British people with accents. My girlfriend ruined it for me. Now I can hear it every single time because they enunciate certain things. Cumberbatch, perfect example. My name is Dr. Stephen Strange. Like it's like that. It's very enunciated, and you can hear now every single time a British person, which there's a lot of British people, they do American accents. You hear it when they say certain things, A's and E's especially.
What about Idris Elba? Like when I first saw him in The Wire, I was like, he's British.
That's true. I'm trying to think of like I noticed it a little bit in Hobbs and Shaw. Especially being around like what's his name, like
Jason Statham.
Jason Statham. Where he has a different accent as well. So like but you can hear it. Go back and watch. I'm sure there's parts of it where, especially like A's and E's, you can definitely hear it.
He was British in Hobbs and Shaw, so I didn't have a problem with that. My point is like in The Wire, because they're both on MI6. They're both on and that stuff. So, but in The Wire, he was a dude from Baltimore. So that's why I was like, I didn't hear nothing. I had no clue.
I go back. It's been forever since I watched that, but I'm trying to think of what other time, because he usually does his own voice in a lot of things. Like
he's used an American accent here and there. There was that terrible Beyonce movie, Obsessed, that he did. What else did he use an American accent in? There's one that was fairly recent, I think.
Most of the time he's himself. So like I seen Luther a lot. I've seen all those episodes. I've seen most of the things he does. He has a good accent, but when he has the American accent, I don't hear it. But I know we're getting off topic again.
Yeah. So I don't know what are some bad things.
Yeah, I mean that's really it. 'Cause it's a good murder mystery thing.
Yeah,
it really is.
And it really held my attention. I didn't even look at my phone at all.
Yeah, I really didn't either.
A good sign.
I'm really interested. Like I said, I'll watch as many Knives Out mysteries or Benoit Blanc mysteries as Rian Johnson wants to make. I think he's really kind of found his niche with this. I know that there's going to be at least one more that's going to be on Netflix. Probably won't be out for at least probably like 2 years. But I'll definitely watch as many as this guy wants to make. I think Benoit Blanc is definitely like the new age Inspector Clouseau, which is a lot of fun to watch. But I'll watch as many as he wants to make. I'm interested to see where the next one takes place, how stacked the cast is going to be. I'm definitely in for the next one.
Yeah. So I just looked up. I guess he's going to start writing it in January.
Yeah.
So number 3. So, but I know they signed on for a multi-movie deal from him with Netflix. So, so before we move on, do you guys feel this should have come out in the theaters? Because it did come out in theaters. Yeah,
I would have watched it in theaters.
I would have watched it in the theaters. I know it was out in the theaters for just a couple of days. I think.
Give it Oscar consideration.
I literally liked this one more than I liked the first Knives Out. I really do.
I'd say I liked it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say I liked it about the same as the first one.
I thought the story was way stronger, made way more sense. Just so much stronger.
I could see that. Yeah, and I could see that the plot was a little more. I liked the bigger scale of the plot for sure.
Yeah.
And it wasn't bigger scale just for the sake of, we're making a sequel, we got to go bigger. It actually worked. It felt like a natural progression.
Yep.
And it really kind of went deeper in terms of showing just how great a detective Benoit Blanc is.
On both sides of the line, like I'm showing you one thing, but I'm really doing this other thing on the other side, and that's why I really like the dichotomy of his personality. That was really awesome seeing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so but I was saying it did come out in theaters, and Netflix executives were pretty pissed off. They didn't go to more. It was limited theaters and for a limited run, and it made a buttload of money for those few theaters that it made. So they lost out on a decent amount of money for not giving it a proper theater run.
I think this is a top 15 movie that came out this year. That's how much I like it.
I hear a lot of people saying that too. Definitely one of the better movies that came out the year. But I know they came out at the same time. Strange World, I think it's called, came out. Strange World was obviously a lot more theaters.
No one saw it.
Yeah, no one saw it. But I think
no one saw it so much that it's already on Disney Plus.
I watched it yesterday.
I watched it. I still haven't seen it.
I watched it yesterday.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it. I wonder if the next one might do a longer theatrical run.
They should have
for money, just for money. I mean, that's it. So before we get on to our ratings, we'll get Derpy's thoughts. He goes, "Screw these movies and Rian Johnson. Give me a proper remake of Clue."
Why? It's like, you want another Scooby-Doo too?
mess it up. But we get a lot of murder mysteries. There's the other one, Death on the Nile, with that guy.
Hercule. I can't even pronounce the last name, but yeah. Death on the Nile was decent. I know they're making a third one.
Yeah, he's gonna keep making those too. He's just gonna keep doing it. Cool. So with that being said, you guys want to jump into our ratings?
Sure.
Yes.
Cool. So here on Spoiler Kings, we do our ratings a little bit differently than everyone else. We keep it nice and simple. We do now, later, never. So now means you got to drop what you're doing, go check it out. Later means you can wait till you're doing the dishes, throw it on in the background. It's not important. And never means don't even waste your time with this one. So that being said, Brandon, what are you giving Glass Onion?
No question about it. This is a now. Watch this, throw it on Netflix, turn your phone off. Even if you have your phone on, you're probably not going to be paying attention anyway. It hooks you in pretty much straight away, I'd say. Very engaging, fun characters, very well acted. If you like the first Knives Out, I feel like you'll definitely like this one. Even if you haven't seen the first Knives Out, you don't have to. It stands alone on it, totally well on its own. I had a lot of fun watching this. Obviously, I watched it more than once over the weekend. So yeah, easy now for me.
Ryan?
It's a now for me too. It was action packed. It was entertaining. It was well acted. The plot was well developed. It had a couple of dead spots, but overall, it was really good. I really enjoyed what I was watching, and I didn't feel tired ever while watching it. Everything held my attention. this is a now movie. I mean, I can't believe it's on Netflix. This was high quality. There wasn't no CGI problems like all the bombs and things blowing up didn't look terrible, and didn't look like it was off a TV show that only had $5 to a budget. It was none of those problems. So I think you should really, if you get a chance, to definitely watch it. This is the holiday season. This is a good one to watch. This should be number one on Netflix now.
I think it is number one on Netflix.
I think so too.
Yeah, I tried watching it yesterday and today, and it's been number one both days. So. And then Rotten Tomatoes, this is crazy. Rotten Tomatoes, both the critics and the audience both gave it a 93.
I agree. That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. And that's I've never seen both the critics and the audience have the same exact number, let alone be in the 90s. They're both at 93, So I think 318 critic reviews and 500 plus audience reviews. So that's a decent amount.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat. We all believe the same thing. We all enjoying it the same way. Yep, that's exactly it.
Yeah, I have not heard a bad thing about this movie yet. I'll put it that way. From all the people I've watched and heard, E-Man got invited to the red carpet, and
which is awesome.
He got praised the movie too. So yeah. So I mean, this is definitely on my watch list. Like I said, I've been trying to watch it yesterday and today, just didn't happen. But yeah, I definitely want to check it out.
I gotta say one last thing. I think Janelle Monáe did such a wonderful job. I enjoy seeing her acting. Like it's funny how she's developed and going better and getting better and better in every movie. She steals the show for most of this movie. And it's funny because you have all these big stars, and she's probably the one thing that I stick with the most.
Yeah, interesting. So that's cool. Yeah, I heard a lot of people, everyone talking about how great she is. So and Batista as well, like you guys were saying. So
he was awesome.
Yeah, no, it's definitely on my list.
Batista's, he's much he's so much a better actor than I originally would have pegged him for.
Yeah.
When he was really getting into it, and
I got a question though. Do you ever hear him and think Drax?
Oh, you have to.
It's just, every time I hear him talk, I'm like, that's Drax.
Yeah.
He had no shirt on. He's sitting by the pool. I was like, look at Drax. That's crazy.
So, and then before we head out, the box office numbers, because it was out for 1 week in limited theaters. It made $15 million,
really?
Which doesn't seem like a lot, but you're talking about very, very small number of theaters, and only for 1 week. It made 15 mil. The budget was 40 mil to make. It almost made half. It made a little less than half of what the movie was worth in 1 week.
Without marketing.
Without
marketing.
Without any marketing, really. So, it was pretty good. Pretty good. Definitely gonna check it out. I'm super excited. Any last words, guys, before we move on?
I'd say that's about it for me.
Yeah, it was a great movie. I really enjoyed everything about it. So thank you.
Cool.
Thank you for that.
Cool. Cool. So we'll leave it up to you guys, the viewers. Let us know what you guys think. If you're watching on replay, thank you. Leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about. I was gonna say Knives Out, about Glass Onion, the sequel to Knives Out. That's streaming now on Netflix. Leave a comment. Let us know. We like chit-chatting with you guys in the comments about stuff like this. But Spoiler Kings, these guys up here are giving it a now, so it's in good talks with everybody. So, but that is it from us. So if you're watching on replay, thank you guys. If you're watching